Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So with that being said, I hope that you're all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. So it's been about roughly almost 7 hours now since I officially uploaded the first Hbar video highlighting the BlackRock and Arcix news today. And well, a lot of things have happened since, and it's kind of crazy that it happened in 7 hours or less. And as we really look at a few things, right, let's address the overall market, because currently speaking, Bitcoin is still ranging. There's not a lot of movement happening on Bitcoin right now. In fact, Bitcoin dominance is still ranging with Bitcoin. So to have Hbar still being the top gainer on the 24-hour span, up 81% today alone, up 107% on the 7-day span, and it's over 16 cents, is just absolutely wild. And not only that, but the trading volume for this thing is up 4,000, almost 300% today alone. If we go and look at the all-time chart on Hbar, going all the way back to the 2020 and 2021 bull run, the trading volume has never been this significant. We could see it on the bottom. Just take a look at the bottom volume down here, right? Look at the line right now on the right side next to the USD ticker, right? Look at how much volume is there. This is insane. This is the most amount of volume that Hbar had ever, since going all the way back to even the bull run. This is crazy to me. Now, the reason why I'm making another Hbar video is because I said I might have to do another Hbar update tonight if the momentum keeps up, and it did, right? Initially, what I was looking at when it came to Hbar was this actually selling off a little bit today. I was expecting us to have a slight pullback because it just made sense, but as you guys do see, Hbar does not care. This is defying all odds in terms of, technical analysis. The overall price action shouldn't be doing this, but hey, this is a white swan event essentially. And now, as we really look at Hbar, the question is, what comes next? And is it all-time highs? Well, let's look into a few things. Let's talk about it. So let's actually talk about the trading volume and how we got to this point. So initially at about roughly 7 p.m., I posted a tweet over on X and I said the trading volume on Hbar is up 1,800%. 3 minutes later, Hbar's volume was over 1,900% and closing in on 2,000%. Did someone say Parabolic? Then at 8:19 p.m., it was over 2,700%. Then, last but not least, 3,000%, and CoinMarketCap couldn't even keep up with the price action at that current moment in time. And this was at 8:37 p.m. Just for reference, I'm recording this video at about roughly 11 p.m. So we're talking about, less than roughly almost 3 hours later. And from 3,000%, we are up to 4,300% almost. That's how fast this market moves. I cannot stress this enough whenever I talk about these projects, right? Because for the longest time, a project will go sideways and sideways and sideways. I mean, look at this overall price chart down here while everyone was complaining and complaining. And then all of a sudden, all at once, we go crazy. And it's all because of one announcement, right? It's insane to me that a lot of people fade these projects at times where it's the best buying opportunity possible. I mean, when we go back to 2022's price action, where a lot of people were saying, oh no, I'm waiting for 2 cents and 3 cents on Hbar, which is ridiculous. And I saw a lot of influencers also saying this. I said, look at where we are at right now, price-wise. Go back to 2020. How many people during 2021 were kicking themselves saying, oh, I wish I would have bought during 2020. I wish I was able to buy during 2020 prices. And we got those prices back in 2022. And in fact, we ranged a little bit around those prices during 2023 as well. And I said anything under 10 cents on Hbar is a major opportunity. And I said, if we go under 5 cents, you better back up the truck and load up because it's not going to last forever. And well, today we saw a major move in the market. Now, outside of this, there has been a lot of FUD around this announcement as well. A lot of people are hinting at the fact that the marketing team was misleading everyone. And I said, for everyone sitting here fudding on BlackRock plus Hedera announcement today, here you have confirmation of BlackRock having to sign off. There are so many low IQ comments today trying to downplay these moves. Hbar will show the world what it means to be the most efficient DLT in this space. And this is actually from Christian Hasker. And he's one of the marketing guys at Hedera. We have from Brandon D, sorry, to Hedera, people asking, but is BlackRock actually involved? Do they know about Hedera? BlackRock owns the fund. So yes, they are involved and know about Hedera. And we had to wait for BlackRock to sign off to include them in the release. So yes, they know. And by the way, this is a $25 billion fund. And for everyone out there, there's multiple funds that are owned by BlackRock. They actually have about roughly 40 funds, and they have about more than 120 mutual funds and 517 equity funds. And big shout out to Dustin Neeson for that. But I even highlighted the fact that this is not so much about price action. Like, although yes, we're seeing significant price action from this, it's not so much about what it does for the price of Hbar, but for what it does for the entire ecosystem, right? When we initially saw the announcement of the Bitcoin ETFs, everyone was like, all right, well, now this space is becoming more mature, right? Because of, you have BlackRock, Fidelity, all these big traditional institutions jumping in. But the big thing about it was not so much about Bitcoin price, but what comes next. And we know that tokenization was the next big thing on Larry Fink's agenda. But outside of it, what did it do for the entire space? Well, it put a spotlight on Bitcoin. It put a spotlight on crypto as well. This is only going to continue to grow and grow and grow at an enormous rate, especially as we do start to see more traditional giants jumping in on this space. And I actually did outline this in a recent post earlier today where I was talking about more so the fact that it's not so much about the price action, right? It's more so about what this does for the entire space. And I said it wasn't just a massive day because the BlackRock news pumped Hbar's price. Today was a massive day because it confirmed just how big Hedera is outside of the Web3 world. This just opened the floodgates to TradFi giants realizing how big of a game changer Hedera is. We are starting to move into a much more mature market that will take utility serious. Take a step back and realize what these announcements do for the long-term path ahead. No doubt, Hbar. And yeah, I mean, even if you go over to Hedera's social platform, right? Their X account, you could see what they have been pushing. I mean, with Aberdeen, outside of the BlackRock news, Aberdeen was one of the most legitimate announcements that we saw from Hedera. And this was back in, I think, 2022. This is the largest active wealth manager in the UK. Like, these are the players that are tied to Hedera. And even outside of just the BlackRock news, the big thing that I always look at is like the GC members, but also the announcements that we saw leading up to this big one. And I also outlined that as well. I said, you know, imagine fading Hedera when we saw major updates day in, day out during the entire 2023 year. And again, what we saw was a lot of people saying, oh, all these announcements, but it's doing nothing for Hbar's price. And just like I said, right? It was only a matter of time until Hbar's price caught up to all of those big updates. And we finally got that. Now, during this time, as we do continue to see the price action kind of brew and brew and brew, I will say this. Things don't go up only forever, right? They have to pull back. They will have a correction. We were expecting, and I am fully transparent on this, I was actually wrong. I was initially talking about us backtesting the trend line. So if I actually open up my Hbar USD chart, so let me just show you guys real quick. So what I was expecting us to do, considering the fact that like this was significant resistance that we were trading at today, I was expecting us to backtest the trend line before we have that next leg up to 19 cents, almost 20 cents. Well, guys, guess what? On the weekly, we have a massive green candle to the upside. Just to put it into perspective, on just this weekly candle alone, and I'm going off of the actual wick, not the candle body, this was about a roughly 109% candle body to the upside, or candle wick to the upside, sorry. That's a significant move. Now, is it done? Is this move done? In my opinion, no, I don't believe so. But I do think that we are going to have a slight pullback and a reset back down to like 15 cents. It would make sense. But again, so far, we haven't been able to do that. This is what the 4 hour looks like on Hbar. It's just green candle after green candle. But like I said, things don't go up only forever. But I do think that we are getting closer and closer to the point of us testing the last major area of opportunity before all-time highs brew. And what am I talking about? Well, over here, right? I said, be cautious on Hbar around this level outlined by Credible Crypto. It will take some time, but we will eventually cool off a bit. Was an incredible day, though, for all Hbarbarians. And this is his chart. So we have, all right, here we go. Took longer than expected and shook me out of my leveraged long on the way. But Hbar is finally approaching my first major upside target at around 20 cents. And that's honestly my initial target here as well, around like 19 cents. After this, 28 cents, almost 29 cents is the next target for me. But note, this is a monthly region of resistance, so it's quite significant, but it's also the only thing standing in the way of new all-time highs. That being said, as much as I'd like to see it, I would be surprised if we break this zone on the first test, so expecting a rejection in red for now. The price action that follows after will be telling. And yes, this is when you would expect us to have a major pullback or a correction. And just to put it into perspective, this is the monthly chart. So what he's really kind of looking at is anywhere between like almost, it's like 19 cents almost to like about roughly 28 cents or so. He's going off of this second candle body here. So it's actually, and let me just put it on the chart. It's this entire range here from about roughly, and we have it on the chart, like 19 cents to about 27 cents. So this is going to be the last area before new all-time highs are actually reached, because the only thing stopping us next would be roughly 36 cents, but it's not going to be that significant because, as you guys do see back here, we blew right past it. So we're definitely watching this closely, and there's not a lot stopping us from new all-time highs. But this is where I personally would be looking for, a pullback. We might even go higher than the initial 19 cent area. So it would make sense for us to have something like this where we go somewhere within the mid-range. We might even, hit this specific target perfectly, which is like 23.5 cents before we get that big move down to the downside. And just to put it into perspective, this would be about roughly a 36% correction. Also back here where it had a big move, obviously this is an all-time high for Hbar. So we were pretty much going to sell off regardless, but this was a 70% correction. Now, this is during the summer of 2021, so we can't really go in depth on this move because during this time, the entire market was pretty much wiped out. But I would be looking at this and saying, all right, well, yeah, a 36% correction does make sense because even if we go back on the daily chart, and let's go all the way back to 2020 into 2021, there was a lot of big moves happening around this time. In fact, the first major wick to the upside of almost 20 cents, we went to about like 18.5 cents. This did sell off about 27% before the next big move happened, which took us up to a new all-time high, which was 242% of a move. But beforehand, we did sell off a little bit. And also we even had a sell off here about roughly around 16.5 cents. This was a 46% correction. But right now, as we go back to the weekly candle, just so that I can get back over here pretty quick, let's go back to the daily chart. So as we really look at this, we already had a very big drop in the market. Initially, this was a huge drop. It was almost 52%. It was like 51.5% of a move to the downside. Now, I did outline in the Patreon group, and I will be very transparent with you guys. What happened on the daily is this completely wiped us out in terms of the macro trend line that we were expecting to hold. But if you look at the weekly, we never lost. And I did outline this in the Patreon group. I said Hbar actually looks very good here for this to be our bottom because we never actually lost this bottom trend line. We actually maintained it, which I did outline in the video from earlier today where I was talking about how we have a significant low back here, a higher low, and also another higher low. And now we actually have a confirmed higher high on this move, which is very, very bullish for Hbar. So now what we look for is either are we going to get a tap into this red zone and then reject back down to like this 15-cent zone, which would be the midline, before getting that next big move to the upside, which will technically take us to all-time highs, or are we going to have a pullback from the level that we are at right now? Well, we don't know yet. That's why we watch the price action and really kind of go off of what the chart is going to tell us. But so far, Hbar has been doing a very, very good it's been having a very good time in the market, and this move is a very strong move to the upside. And even as we look at the Hbar Bitcoin pair, guys, we smashed through that 50 weekly EMA, which was the big moment, right? I said it in the video from earlier today as well. This was the big moment for us to actually get through, because from here, it would essentially take us to the next area of demand. And on the upside, this area of demand goes all the way back to 2021, specifically around like January of 2021, where it looks like this. And we already have that next level tapped. Now, the big sign is clearing the 200 weekly EMA, which is up here. It's a little bit further to the upside. From there, we really kind of just look for, reclaiming a significant area on the chart, which is this candle back here in March of 2021. Really kind of claimed some significant moves in the market, and also areas of demand. If you actually look at this, right, this whole area here is what we want to get past, because this is where the big moves really kind of start to brew on the USD pair. As you guys do see from March of 2021, we maintained this level up here as support. We held it, and then we had the last major impulsive move of the Hbar USD pair to the all-time high, and then we sold off after that, which did lead us into the bear market. So I do think that this is the start of us moving to new all-time highs, but it's going to take some time. Don't expect all-time highs, overnight or tomorrow or possibly even this week. It's going to take a little bit of time, but so far, it does look like altcoins are ready. I mean, even if we go over to the top gainers and losers right now in the 24-hour span, top 500, Hbar obviously still being number one, but there are some great moves across the board for a lot of great altcoins and some projects out there. But, I'm really excited for the rest of this year. I really do think that this is going to be a very exciting time for all altcoins. I've been talking about it, right? Alt season is nearing. That's why we really look at the Bitcoin pairs more than the USD pair, because this is what matters. And this was the major sign that a big move is coming next, because we were at the absolute bottom on this chart, going all the way back to 2021 and even 2020. So with that being said, Hbarbarians, it's time to celebrate, because our time has paid off, and it's only just the beginning, in my opinion. And with that being said, guys, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.